Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. Guys, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me clearly? Can I get a quick reply? Is my voice clear? Okay, I'm getting so many replies. Okay, yes, teacher. Okay. Okay, first of all, I'll introduce myself, guys. I'm Rushdi Arilwan and I'm your English literature teacher. Okay, then how is the day going on, guys? How are you all? Is everyone fine? How is the day today? Okay. Okay, before the class starts, I'll read the names who are there in this class. Okay, one by one, I'll read the names. You all have put your real names, right? Everyone there are in real names. No fake names, right? எல்லாரும் உண்மையான பேர் தானே போட்டிக்கிறீங்க எல்லாத்தையும். Okay, I'll read the names. If you all அப்படின்னா வேற வேற பேர் இருந்தா மாத்துங்க. உங்களோட ரியல் நேம்ஸை போடுங்க. Okay, then shall I read the names one by one? The participants. Okay. Shalima, Alia, two Alias are there. Atif, Ahmad, Hajra Rizvi, Hamda, Hassan, Hima Rizwan, Nafa, Rifarina, Samha Rizwan, Sara, Shama, Shayan, Umar, Zahra Moeen, Zainab Fazlan, Zoom Pro, and Zumri. Zoom Pro ண்டெல்லாம் பேரிக்கேன் நான். என்ன Pro Maxa? What? Okay. எல்லாரும் போன்ல தான் பார்ட்டிசிபேட் வருவாங்க. இது போனே வந்து இது பார்ட்டிசிபென்ட்டா. Okay, fine. Okay, shall we start the class then? Zoom Pro next and someone has sent Zoom. Okay. Someone is telling no Ultra Pro Max. Yeah, அதுதான் இப்ப ட்ரெண்ட்ல போகுது Ultra Pro Max என்ன. Okay guys, then shall we start the class? Am I clear, right? The picture is clear for you all, right? The picture, I mean the screen is clear, no? Everything. Okay. Okay, now today we are going to learn about, a drama called Twilight of a Crane. The author is Junji Kinoshita. Okay. Okay, now we are going to hear a story called Twilight of a Crane. A story. Okay. You all just imagine what I says. Okay. What I will say. You all just imagine. நீங்க imagine பண்ணுங்க நான் இப்ப எல்லாம் explain பண்ண போறேன். Okay. Now it sounds like a fancy name, no? Twilight of a Crane. But it's really about a very special bird. That means a crane. A bird means a crane that turns into a beautiful person. Now imagine, guys, imagine a big white bird with long legs and pretty wings. Now that bird is a crane. Okay. Now the story was written by a man named who? Junji Kinoshita. Okay. Now who loved to tell stories about magical things. And tonight I'm going to tell you this magical story. Now, today is what's the date today? 3rd of September. Yeah, and just like when we get ready for bed and read our favorite picture books, now we are going to see some pictures and hear a story. We will learn about kindness in this story, love, and what happens when people want too much. So snuggle up in your blankets, I'm telling you. Just close your eyes little by little. And let's start our story about a crane who turns into a lovely lady. Okay. Now the introduction of the story. You all can see the picture. In screen I have given you all the introduction. 3 points are there. Junji Kinoshita is a Japanese playwright. The play explores themes of love, greed, and sacrifice, setting a field covered in snow, a remote hut. Okay, the whole book I won't put you all. You all might think teacher is giving by point. I'll give by point and I'll explain you all. Okay. Okay, introduction. Okay. Now a long time ago, guys. Now there was a man named who Junji Kinoshita who loved to write stories. Now he wrote a special play called what Twilight of a Crane. A play is like a story you can act out with your friends. Like when you pretend to be a superhero or princess, I'm telling. Now, the story is about love, like when you love your mommy and daddy, and being greedy, which means waiting, like wanting too much, like when you want all the candy in the store, like that. Now our story happens in a very quiet place now, like when it snows and everything is white and soft like a big fluffy blanket. Imagine a tiny little warm and wonderful story now waiting for us, like a hot cup of tea or a in a cold night. All think like that. Now we will learn about a magical crane and the choices people make. Understood? So this is the introduction. You all understood up to this? Okay, now we are going to see the characters of the story. Okay, who are the characters? In short and sweet form, I have given you all with pictures. You all can see it clearly. Yohyo, a lonely man. Okay, Sue, Yohyo's wife, a crane in human form, and Unzu, a villager, friend of Sodo. You all might think who is Yohyo and who is Su. I have given it clearly, guys. Now, Unzu, a villager, friend of Sodo, and Sodo, a villager. So, these are the characters of this story. Okay, now let's meet the people in our story. Now, first, there is Yohyo. No, he is a man who lived all by himself, and he is a little bit lonely, like a teddy bear waiting for a hug. Then there is Sue. Now she is Yohyo's wife. Okay. Now remember it, guys, and now and she is very special because of she is really a crane that turned into a person. No, so she is like a fairy who came to live with Yohyo. So we also have Unzu and Sodo. So they are villagers now, which means they live in the same place as Yohyo, like your neighbors. Now they are friends. But they sometimes may not so good choices, like when you forget to share your toys. Now these are the friends we will be learning about today. And we will see how their choices affect everyone. Okay, now Yohyo and Sue's peaceful life. Now we are going to see what are their peaceful life, how their life is going on. Okay, now I'll explain you all. There are 3 points I have given you all. They live in a simple, happy life. Yohyo saved a crane, showing his kindness. Their peaceful life is at risk of being disrupted. Okay, now Yohyo and Sue, they lived in a very simple and happy life in their little house. You all think like that. Okay, now they loved each other very much. Like when you love your best friend, or you all like your mother. இப்போ நீங்களோட உமாவோட எப்படி இறக்கம் அப்படி இறக்கமா இருப்பீங்கன்னா இப்போ எங்களோட உமாண்ட எங்களுக்கு எப்படி உசுராயிக்கும். இப்போ உங்களோட பெஸ்ட் ஃப்ரெண்ட் வைங்களே எனக்கு இப்ப மட்டும் தான் அப்படின்னு நான் எப்படி இப்போம் அந்த மாதிரி தான் சூ அண்ட் யோஹியோ. ஓகே. Okay, then Yohio was very kind, like when you help a friend who is sad. Okay, now one day what happened, he found a crane that was hurt. Okay, like imagine guys, now he found a crane that was hurt. Okay, and he helped it get better, just like when you put a band-aid on a little pinch or something. Now that crane was Sue. No, that's how they met and they fell in love. Now they were so happy together. Like when you get a new puppy, but sometimes when things are too good, now something might come along with change them, like a little storm in the sunshine. Now that's what happens in our story. Something might make their happy life not so happy anymore, and we will see how they handle it. இப்போ ஒரு லைஃப் ஒன்று நல்லா போயிட்டு கொண்டு இருக்குது, ஏதாவது அந்த இடையில வரும் தானே, இப்போ ஏதாவது ஒரு கஷ்டம் ஏதோ உண்டு, அந்த மாதிரி தான் இது. You think like that, okay? The precious cloth. The villagers talk about Sue's beautiful cloth. The rumors spread about its high value, foreshadowing their greedy may cause trouble. Okay, now Sue could weave the most beautiful cloth. No, she used to weave clothes, so it was soft and shiny, like magic, like a rainbow made of yarn. That means the villagers saw the cloth and said, like, wow, that's amazing. Now they heard rumors, which like whispers that go from ear to ear, that the cloth was worth a lot of money, like that. Now, this means people would pay a lot for it. Now, like when you find a treasure chest full of gold coins, but when people want things too much, it can cause trouble. No, like when you want all the toys and don't share. No, it makes everyone sad. So the villagers wanting the cloth too much might make Yo-Yo and Sue sad too, and it might change their happy life forever. Understood? Okay, now the villagers greed. Now let's see villagers greed. Okay, Sodo and Unzi want to profit from the cloth. They try to convince. Greed means what, guys? Greed means I mean பெரேத்தனம் doing எல்லாம் வேணுமே ஆளுக்கு, like that. So the villagers also like that only in this story. They try to convince Yohio to sell more. Yohio is hesitant but eventually agrees. Okay, now Sodo and Unzo, the villagers, now wanted lots of money. They are very greed. No, they thought if Sue makes more clothes, we can sell it and get rich. யாருக்கு தான் இப்ப சல்லி ஆசை இல்லைன்னா இந்த காலத்துல ஏதாவது ஒன்று செஞ்சு எப்படியாவது முன்னேறணும் அப்படின்னு தான் நிறைய பேர் இருப்பாங்க. Like that only this villagers also very greedy. No, like finding a big, like a big bag of money or something only they used to asked. No. Now they talked to Yohio and said, Yohio, your wife cloth is so wonderful. You should make more and sell it. Now Yohio was a good man, no, but he didn't want to make Sue work too hard. So he was hesitant, and which means like he wasn't sure. Like when you are deciding between like something, like but the villagers kept asking, and finally, Yohio said yes. Now he wanted to make them happy, but he didn't know it would cause trouble. Now, this shows how sometimes even good people can make mistakes. அப்ப villages என்ன சோடுவேன்னு சொல்றாங்க என்னது இன்னும் இந்த மாதிரி க்ளோஸ் தைச்சு தாங்க அப்படின்னு. அப்போ யோகியோ என்ன சொல்றாரு, ஏலாம சரி அப்படின்னு ஒத்துக்கொள்றாரு. அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட்? Okay, so sacrifice. Now we are gonna see what are the sacrifice of Sue. Sue weaves more clothes despite in weakening her. She loves Yohio and wants to make him happy. Irony, her sacrifice may ruin their relationship. Okay, now Sue loved Yohio very much now, so she started weaving more clothes. But weaving made her very tired and weak. No, like when you play all day and get sleep. Now she was but sacrificing, no, which means giving up something she needed to make Yohio happy. Oh, she wanted him to have money, like what, like when you give your allowance to friend who needs it. But sometimes when we give up too much, it can hurt as the people we love. No, like when you give away all your toys and then you won't have nothing to play with. No, it's like sharing your toys. But if you give away all your toys, you won't have any to play with. Now, Sue also giving up her strength might make their love not so strong anymore, and it might make her disappear. இப்போ சூ என்ன செய்யறான்டா, இப்போ மிச்சம் ஸ்டிச் பண்றா. ஸ்டிச் பண்ணி இப்போ அவக்கும் மிச்சம் டயர்ட் ஆகுற. இப்போ ஒரு ஒரு வேலையா இருந்தாலும் நாங்க என்ன செய்யணும், அந்த நிறைய செய்ய போகல எங்களுக்கு கஷ்டமாகும். என்ன நிறைய வேலையை எல்லாத்தையும் இழுத்து போட்டு இப்படி செய்யறோம். சோ அதுதான் அவட காரணம் டிசப்பியர் ஆகுறதுக்கு. ஓகே. Okay, now the breaking point. Okay, Yohio breaks his promise and looks into the weaving room. So he sees Sue's true form, a crane. Now this symbolizes the breaking of their bond. Okay, now Yohio promised Sue he wouldn't look into the room where she was weaving. Okay, now but the villagers kept telling him how much money he could make, and he got curious. No, like when you want to peek inside a wrapped present. இப்ப யொஹியோ என்ன சொல்லுகிறாருண்டா, இப்ப இனி நான் வந்து நீங்க ஸ்டிச் பண்ணி நீங்க வியூ பண்றத நான் பார்க்க மாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு. ஐ வாண்ட் see what are you weaving. So he likes to, இப்ப ஒரு present வந்து இப்ப கிஃப்ட் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிறேன் வைங்களே. இப்ப யாராச்சும் கிஃப்ட் வந்து பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிறேன்னு வைங்க, அப்போ வந்து நாங்க என்ன செய்வோம், அதை திறந்து பார்க்க தானே வைப்போம். அது சர்ப்ரைஸ். அது திறந்து பார்த்து அந்த தந்தவங்களுக்கு அப்செட் ஆகும் தானே. லைக் தட். ஓகே, ஆல் திங்க் லைக் தட். Now he peeked. After what he did, he peeked into the room and he saw something surprising. No, he saw that Sue was really a crane. When he broke his promise, it broke their special bond, like when you break a stick into two. No, it was not the same anymore. It symbolizes, which is a big word. That means it shows that their love was hurt. No, and it might not be able to be fixed. Now, this moment changed everything. Now let's see next what will happen. Okay. Okay, now let's see the conclusion of this story. The conclusion. Sue has to leave and return to her true form. Yohio is left alone. The villagers got what they wanted, but at a cost. Okay, now because Yohio shows true form, no, Sue's true form he saw. So she had to go back to being a crane. Now she couldn't stay a person anymore, like a butterfly going to back into its cocoon or something. Now she had to leave Yohio and he was all alone again. Now like a lost puppy. Now the villagers got the clothes and the money they wanted, but losing a shiny star in the night sky. Now sometimes getting what you want doesn't make you happy. No, if it hurts someone you love, like getting a new toy but making your friend cry, it's important to be kind and think about others. Okay. Now the summary of the story. Now let's see what are the summary. Main theme: love, greed, and sacrifice. The story serves as a cautionary tale and reflection is material wealth worth the cost. Okay, now our story was about love, greed, and giving up something important. No? Now, love is when you care about someone very much, like when you hug your favorites, like animal or cat or a dog. Now, greed is wanting too much. No? Like wanting all the candy. No, the world sacrifice it. What sacrifice is giving up something for someone else, like sharing your favorite toy. Now, this story, cautionary tale, no, which means it teaches us a lesson, like when your mommy tells you not to touch a hot stuff. No, it tells us that being greedy can make us lose the things we love, like losing a friend because you didn't share. Now what we should ask ourselves, no, is having lots of toys or money more important than being kind and loving. So like being a good friend. Now remember guys, now kindness is more precious than anything shiny. You all understood? Okay, guys. Now let's move to the up to this. You all understood, right? Now let's move to the questions and answers. Questions with answers I'll be giving, and I'll explain it, y'all. Why it came. Okay. Are you all ready? Okay. Now, first question I'm going to read. This is the question, the purple color line I have given, and this is the down part is the answer of it. Okay. Now, what is the significance of the cloth that Sue weaves? Okay, what is the significance of the cloth that Sue weaves? The cloth that Sue weaves is no ordinary cloth. It is an executive precious material known as Senba Ori, and it holds great value in the eyes of the villagers. Now, they see it as a source of wealth and prosperity, believing it can be sold for a high price in the town. However, the cloth also symbolizes so sacrifice and love for Yohio. Each thread is woven there with her own feathers, and with each piece she makes, and she grows weaker. The cloth therefore represent not just material wealth, but also the depth of Sue's commitment to Yohio. So this is the answer, right? Now, what is the sickness? Question is what is the question, guys? What is the significance of the cloth that Sue weaves? Now imagine now Sue's cloth is like a magical blanket. No, it's a cloth. So it's not just any blanket. No, it's super special and like shiny. Now the villagers think it's like finding a treasure chest of full of gold because they can sell it it and gets lots of toys and like candy. You'll think like that. But this blanket, that means the cloth, is made with Sue's own feather. Okay, it's her own feather. Okay, own feather. Like when bird drops a feather, you all think no, every time she makes a cloth, no blanket, that means she gets a little bit weaker, like when you run and play all day and get super tired. So the blanket is not just about shiny things, it's about Sue's love for Yohio. So she loves him so much that she is willing to give up her strength to make him happy. Like when you share your favorite cookie with your best friend or something. No, it's a kind of love blanket. Okay. So you all understood the first question and the answer why it came. Okay, now let's move to the second question. Okay. How does Yo-Yo's character evolve through the story? Now, this is the answer, guys. At the beginning of the story, Yo-Yo is portrayed as a kind, gentle, and somewhat naive man who deeply loves and cares for Sue. So he values their peaceful life together and is hesitant to disrupt it. However, as the villagers introduce the idea of wealth and profit, Yohio's character begins to evolve. He becomes increasingly consumed by the desire for money, leading him to break his promise and sue, and ultimately causing her to leave. So, this is the answer, guys. So, what is the question? How does Yohio, that means Yohio's character, evolve through the story? Now, at first, guys, now Yohio is like a gentle, is like a teddy bear. Now, he loves Sue very much and wants to keep her safe and happy. Now, he like their quiet life. Now, like when you play quietly with your toys in your room. But then the villagers tell him about money. No, like when they tell you about a big jar of candies or chocolates. Now Yohio start to want the money and he forgets about keeping Sue safe. No, he changes like when you forget to share your toys and make your friends sad. Now he breaks his promise to Sue, which is like breaking a pinky promise with your best friend. Now Yohio learns that wanting too much can make you forget to be kind and loving. You all understood? Okay, now the third question. Explain the symbolism of the crane in the story. Okay, the crane is a powerful symbol in the story representing transformation, loyalty, and sacrifice. Sue, who is a crane in human form, embodies this quality. She transforms herself to be with Yo-Yo, demonstrating her loyalty and love for him. So her sacrifice is evident in her weaving, which weakens her what with each piece of cloth she makes. The crane, therefore, is a poignant symbol of love and devotion, but also serve as a reminder of the costs such as commitment. Oh, okay. What is this? Question. Explain the symbolism of the crane in the story. So this is the question, guys. Now the crane is like a magical bird, no, that can change into a person. Now Sue is like the that bird, no, she can be a crane or a person. Now the crane is a symbol, which means it shows us something important. Now it shows us how Sue loves Yo-Yo so much that she changed herself to be with him. So it's like when you pretend to be a what hero to make your friend happy. Now, like that only, the crane also shows us that Sue is willing to give up her strength for your hero. Like when you give your friend your favorite toy. But the crane also reminds us that sometimes no, love means giving up a lot. And that can be sad too. It's like a magical bird that shows us how much love can do. You all understood this question and the answer? Okay, now the fourth question. What role do the villagers Sodo and Unzo play in the story? Oh, now let's see. Now, Sodo and Unzo are the catalysts for the events that unfold in the story. They represent greed and their desire for wealth, and in their influence that leads Yohio to break his promise to Sue. So, they spread rumors about the value of Sue's cloth and convince Yohio to sell more of it. So, despite knowing it weakness her, in this way, they serve a disruptive force, shattering the peace and harmony of Yo-Yo and Sue's life. Okay, then what is the question, guys? What role do the villagers Sodo and Unzo play in the story? So this is the question. So Sodo and Unzo are like little trickers. No, they want lots of money. So like when you want all the items in the store like that. Now they tell Yo-Yo about the shiny cloth and how much money he can get. Like when you show you a treasure chest, now they make Yo-Yo want the money too, and they don't care that Sue gets tired. They are like the friends who tell you to eat all the candies. Now even though you know it's not good for you, now they make trouble and change Yo-Yo and Sue's happy life. Okay. Okay, now the fifth question. Discuss the theme of love and sacrifice in Twilight of a Crane. Love and sacrifice are central themes in Twilight of a Crane. So Sue's love for Yo-Yo is evident in her willingness to sacrifice her own well-being to make him happy. She weaves the precious cloth knowing it weakens her because she wants to provide for Yo-Yo. On the other hand, Yo-Yo's love is tested by the lure of wealth, and he ultimately fails to prioritize well-being over his own desires. Okay, then what is the question, guys? Discuss the theme of love and sacrifice in Twilight of a Crane. Okay, now love and sacrifice are like two friends. Y'all think like that, who always hold hands in the story. Now, Sue loves Yohio so much that she gives up her strength to make him happy. It's like when you give your friend your favorite blanket when they are cold. Now, Yohio loves Sue very much, but he forgets to show how love when he wants money. Now, he forgets that love is more important than shiny things. It's like forgetting to hug your teddy bear when you find a new toy, like that. Now, the story teaches us that love means giving, but we should always remember to take care of the people we love. Understood? Okay, now the sixth question: how does the setting contribute to the mood and atmosphere of the story? The story is set in a remote hut surrounded by a field covered in snow. Now, this isolated setting creates a sense of intimacy and tranquility, reflecting the peaceful life of Yo-Yo and Sue. However, the harsh winter landscape also foreshadows the difficulties and challenges they will face. The contrast between the warmth of the hut and the cold of the outside world mirrors the tension between the couple's love and the encroaching greed of the villagers. Okay. So, what is the question, guys? Now, how does the setting contribute to the mood and atmosphere of the story? Now, guys, imagine a tiny house in a big, like white field of snow. Now, it's very quiet and peaceful. Like when it snows outside in Switzerland, you'll think like the England and Switzerland, you'll think like that. A small house covered with snow, a very quiet and peaceful, like when it snows outside and everything is soft. Now that's where Yohio and Sue live. You'll imagine, okay? Now it's like their own little world, but the snow is also cold and make it feel a little bit sad, like when you are all alone in the snow. The warm house is like their love, but the cold snow is like the trouble coming. Now the setting makes us feel how happy and sad they are all at the same time. Understood? Okay, now the seventh question: what is the significance of the story's title, Twilight of a Crane? Okay, the title Twilight of a Crane is what rich in symbolism. Twilight suggests a period of decline or fading, hinting or the eventual dissolution of Yo-Yo and Sue's relationship. Crane refers to Sue's true form, symbolizing her loyalty, sacrifice, and transformating power. Therefore, the title encapsulates the essence of the story, the fading of a relationship and the sacrifices made in the same what name of love. Okay, now what is the significance of the story's title, Twilight of a Crane? So this is the question. Okay. Now guys, now twilight is like when the sun goes down and it starts to get dark, like bedtime. Now it means things are changing and maybe ending. Now crane is Sue. You all know, right? Now the magical bird. The magical bird is who? The Sue. So twilight of a crane means that shows time a person. That means is ending and their happy life is changing. No, it's like when a fairy tale is almost over and things started to change. No, it is a sad and beautiful name, like that makes you feel sleepy, a little bit sad. You understood? Okay, the eighth question: how does the author use foreshadowing in the story? The author uses foreshadowing throughout the story to hint at the impending disruption of Yohio and Sue's peaceful life. The rumors about the value of Sue's clothes, the villagers' greed, and the Sue's reluctance to weave all foreshadow the tragic turn of events. This tactic effectively builds suspense and prepares the reader of the story climax. Okay, now guys, so what is the question? How does the author use foreshadowing in the story? Foreshadowing means, guys, foreshadowing means like when you see a dark cloud before it rains. It is called foreshadowing. Now, in our story, now the villagers talking about money is like a dark cloud. No, now Sue being tired is like another dark cloud. Now, these things tell us as that something bad is going to happen. Like when you hear thunder before the rain, it makes us wonder what will happen next. Like when you are watching a movie and you see something scary coming like that, a horror movie, you all think like that. So like that only they hear something like thunder and everything, the rain. Okay. Okay, discuss the theme of greed and its consequences in the story. Now, greed is a prominent theme in Twilight of a Crane. With the villagers' desire for wealth setting in motion, the story's tragic events, their greed leads them to exploit Sue's weaving abilities, ultimately causing her to leave Yohio. The story serves as a cautionary tale about the destructive power of greed and its potential to ruin lives and relationships. Okay, now discuss the theme of greed and its consequences in this story. So, this is the question. So, guys, now greed is like wanting all the everything. I need every money in the world, like that. I need every gold in the world. I need every diamond in the world. That is called greedy, and not sharing any. Okay, now the villagers want lots of money, no, and they don't care about who gets hurt. இப்ப யார் என்ன ஆவினாலும் போனாலும் பரவாயில்ல, எனக்கு சல்லி வந்தா போதும், like that they are thinking. Okay, now they make Yohio want money too, and he forgets about Sue because of their greed, no, the greediness. So Sue has to leave now, and Yohio is sad. No, it's like when you take all the toys and your friends don't want to play with you anymore. Now, greed makes people to make bad things, no, and it makes everyone sad. So, you all understood the nine question with the answer. Okay, the final question I'm going to move. The last question. Okay, the 10th question. What is the moral or lesson of Twilight of a Crane? Twilight of a Crane imparts several valuable lessons. It underscores the importance of valuing relationship over material wealth and the danger of greed and unchecked ambition. The story also highlights the significance of trust and keeping promises, as well as the sacrifices that love sometimes demand. Ultimately, it's poignant reminder of the delicate balance between love, sacrifice, and personal desires. Okay, now what is the question, guys? The question is, what is the moral or lesson of Twilight of a Crane? So this is the question. So the story, what this story teaches us? Can anyone? What it teaches? The lesson, the Twilight of a Crane. Okay, don't be greedy. Somebody have sent me, Umar. Oh, that's true. We should not be greedy. Yeah, be loyal. Yeah, we should be loyal. Any others? What is the lesson of this story? What did it give you all? What did y'all give you all? What did story give you all? The lesson. Okay, now the story teaches us, I'll tell you now, teaches us that love is more important than money. Okay, Shama, value the love. Okay, yeah, that's also true. You should value your love. Yes. Okay, that now the story teaches us that love is more important than money. It's like when your mommy tells that being kind is more important than having money. No, we learn that being greedy can make us lose the people we love. So we should always keep our promises and remember to be kind and loving. No, no, it's like when you share something with your friends, you will be happy. No, if you didn't share, you will be greedy so much. So the story is like a bedtime story that teaches us to be good and love each other. You all understood? Okay, everyone are clear? I'm going to end up this class. Can I get some replies from everyone? How was the class today? And you all understood or not? I need to know everyone's reply. Somebody has sent me class was crystal clear. Yeah, clear explanation, understood very well. Yeah, it was great. Thanks. Thank you very much, guys, for your replies. I'm thanking everyone. Okay, understood. Jazakallah. Mubarakallah, Shalima. Beautiful explanation, teacher. Okay. You are also beautiful, Alia. Okay. Okay, guys, then I'll end up this class. Inshallah, I'll meet you again in my class. Okay, welcome, Atif. I'll be doing history classes also, guys. Inshallah, this week or next week. Inshallah, try to come to my class. Okay, bye. Everyone, bye. Bye.